a good one. Woo! Chunky one. Barely got him hooked. Right there. Swimming on top, past the pads. Good bite. Only, can't really call it a speed worm because it's not the brand. Bass Assassin RSB worm. That's the color I'm using too. But I don't think the color mattered on that one because that was more of a reaction bite. There's a convoy of airboats going by, so it's kind of loud right now, but they'll be gone in a little bit. But that was just right here on these pads that are in front of me, swimming on top of the water. I don't think there'd be another one. He came up and grabbed it, which is, I didn't expect that really, because it's such a high sky, there's no clouds, there's no wind. It's not really a time for moving baits. Comes to show, you never know what could happen. Yeah, there's a lot of noise out here today. It was like quiet before I caught that fish, and when I caught that fish, everything just started making noise when I'm ready to start talking to the camera. You go figure. But we're just out here on Kissimmee, fun fishing. I'm not in any kind of tournament or anything. I'm not in the monthly. I'm just out here poking around, trying out new spots. The past 2 days were kind of unsuccessful. Yesterday we went to Okeechobee. Nothing on Okeechobee. Couldn't get a single bite out there. But I thought I was gonna get ran over by an airboat. He was in the middle of nowhere. 16-incher. No, maybe smaller than that. He was fighting like one. He was a little smaller than the last one. They're not making their beds yet. But they're sitting on the bottom though. Now, you can tell if they're making their beds if their tails are all messed up. But I think they're just gonna get ready though. They're not there yet. Little guy. All right, goodbye. Today is already better than yesterday. Got my hands all slimy from the fish, so I'm gonna put it on the bait. Give it that fish smell. I feel like a lot of times I get more bites that way. Like after I catch like 1 or 2 fish off of a new worm, and then I put the scent from the fish onto that worm, I feel like I get bit more, or more aggressively anyways too. Nice. We're the same size. I didn't even feel him bite. I just picked up and he was taking off with it. They're chunky, man. They got some shoulders on them. Look at that tail. That's pretty cool. Or that fin. The color on it. Pretty good. They got a little chunk, look like something bit him. He's all kinds of beat up. Good bite. Oh, I came off. Dang, I thought I had him. No, I got off. Oh, dang it. Come on. I can catch every pad in here, but I can't catch a bass. Oh, I got off. I fought that so stupidly. I didn't feel a bite. He just sucked it in and took off. I know it's boring with the same old swimming worm that I use all the time. It's just what I'm comfortable with, and I get bit with it. I don't feel like using anything else really. I mean, today's a high sky day, so usually that calls for just slow dragging a worm. That's what you do here in Florida, usually that or punching. I tried a little bit of punching. I got one on the hook, but he came off at the boat because I don't know how to fight fish anymore, apparently. You want to know how I rig my speed worm? I'm just going to call it speed worm because that's what it is. But it's not a speed worm, basically a speed worm. This is about the same size as the Zoom Magnum. And what I do is I use a 4/0 extra wide gap hook and a 3/16 tungsten. Now this one's kind of beat up. But a lot of times I think that beat up tungsten with just like silver coming through and some black, I think that might cause a little bit more of a bite reaction. That's what I think anyways. So if it chips apart, I just leave it on there. It doesn't seem like it hurts anything. Maybe they like it even more because if you think about a bluegill, like the copper nose bluegill, it's bright on the nose of it. You know, it has that copper color. And I think that weight with some silver showing, I think it kind of mimics that situation. I got the sun to my back. I'm sorry. You're probably seeing nothing but shadows. And I throw it on a 15-pound fluorocarbon. I use, I like the Seagar Red Label. I feel like that's like the heaviest and the lightest you can go with a natural presentation while still able to fish around pads, grass and stuff like timber, docks. You could go 20 if you're in pads. You might be a little bit better off, but I feel like 15, even 7, I don't think that makes 17, but I feel like 15 is good. So 15 pound red label seagar, 4 extra wide gap hook, 3/16 ounce tungsten. You can get away with maybe an 1/8 ounce. You can get hooks and weights over at 6 cents, especially tungsten, because tungsten's so expensive. But you can get the tungsten over at 6 cents and use my code CMF10, save yourself some money. I'm hoping 6 cents makes a swimming worm at some point. I'm waiting because it's the thing down here. Anyways, maybe if we comment on their pages, like Instagram or something, we want a swimming worm. We want a swimming worm. Maybe they'll make one. I hope. Peace.